want to welcome all of you to our second Executive Economic Summit entitled Capital Wealth Creation in Business and Technology.
And in this industry, which is growing rapidly, is changing every day, where Google gets to throw out products and know that they're going to be wrong, well, the reason for that is because the technology industry is based upon a simple principle, which is test, fail, learn. And the difference between the winners and the losers are those who have enough runway to continue to test, fail, learn until they figure it out.
If capital is colorblind and we have so few black businesses, are we innately inferior? Because that becomes the proposition, because capital's not coming to our firms. Why is that?
They don't really care that you're black or a woman. They really don't. They really care about how much money you can make at the end of the day. Get out and go meet those people, especially here in the Valley. I know every night there's some kind of function where all the VCs will be. And if you aren't there at that function, that's on you. I blame you, not because you're black, but because you're not spending the time, hustling. And I'm telling you, in this Silicon Valley game right here, if you are in front of these people and your product is performing and doing well, you will get funding.
What exists, what opportunities exist to be able to provide that guidance, that direction, that assistance, doesn't happen overnight for anybody. But then again, it is a learning process for everybody.
I think that that's a really important point. So what can we do as a CBCF to scale that mentorship from someone who knows what a deck is supposed to look like for entrepreneurs who want to get out there and pitch? I mean, even for people like myself, it's like I'm learning the game on the fly. Like, yes, we're paycheck producers and things are going well, but I really could not have a skill conversation with you about equity and debt and what's going to happen when I want to productize some of the stuff that the government already paid the NRE costs for.
According to CNN Money, the study also found that the average amount of funding for a black female founder is a grand total of $36,000. Only 88 tech startups are run by black women.
It's really changing your relationship with money. And it starts at home with how you look at finances, how you look at your own personal credit. When you turn 18, do you understand what credit is? Do you understand what a bank loan is? Do you have a relationship with a banker? Do you have a relationship with your community bank? So that way, as you grow and develop, you have a healthy relationship with money and how you should operate with it. So whenever you're developing your business, you know whether you need to start a sole proprietorship or LLC or S Corp or C Corp. So that way, when you meet angel investors, they have an understanding or they have the impression that you have your stuff together, so that whenever they make an investment, you've limited the liability on your part and put it in a corporation that if they need to go after it or dissolve it or do whatever they need to do to get their return back, that they can do that.
What we have missed for the last 40 years is that the key to wealth and innovation in the 21st century is access to research and development money. Mm-hmm. We get less than 1% of the $140 billion that's spent every year in R&D. That R&D money is what makes the schools like Stanford and MIT, makes them what we call academic enterprises. So they have billion-dollar budgets. So they, in fact, can create an infrastructure so they can support these gentlemen here. Because when we start talking about venture capital, you got to have it first.
The issue of access to capital is the same. It's the same. Some of the same barriers we talked about, I think we not coined a new phrase, but talked about it in a different way today in terms of social circles, networks, access. Who do you know? What you don't know, what you don't know. It's kind of manifested itself in a lot of different ways. But let me just say this, and I said it at the onset, and Bill, my good friend Bill Thompson, talked about, we've had this conversation for 20 years, and in a number of different ways, the conversation has taken place over 20 years. But it's a different conversation today because the access mechanisms are different. And I think that's especially important and relevant as we have this discussion and dialogue in Silicon Valley. But the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation is committed to taking action.